What's going on, everybody? What's up, Mavis, Farhan, Ram, Benjamin, Cody, Manish Patel? How's everyone doing? Brennan, what's good? We back, baby. We back for another episode. Another episode of Kicking It with Guys. Welcome. Oh yeah, music. Good call. Good call. Just a sec. Is that better? Volume's all good. What's up, Eli, Arsalan, Democryptus, Salad, Apeng, Rashman, Hamza, Derek, Hossam. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone is doing well. Let me know if the music and voice volume is all good. And then we'll get started. What's up, Rosie? What's up, Neon? What's up, Bun? Mackenzie? Romantic Af? Hopefully not too romantic. Vibes. You're not going to try and bet us down, are you, Kaz? No, I'm not. I'm just going to try and help you guys make some money. We're going to talk about Bitcoin Zounderkite. Light some candles. Hello, Kaz. Following you since 2019. Got to know you from Credible Academy. Awesome, man. Thanks for being a loyal follower. Music's a little high. All right. Audio output. All right. I lowered the music a little bit. Hopefully that's fine. People are starting to show up, so I think we're gonna get started here. We gave people a couple minutes to get in here. Is that still a little loud? If the music's still loud, let me know, but I'm gonna get started. So, I'll mention some of the numbers, Sam. Don't worry. All right, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Kicking It with Cause. These episodes are sponsored by Bybit. If you're interested in trading on their platform, you can use the link in the description. That'll basically let Bybit know that you guys appreciate the streams and want to see more of them and want them to continue to sponsor me. So, with that being said, let's dive into the analysis. Also, a quick announcement as we get started. This will be... I'm leaving for 2 weeks to go to Maui. Unfortunately, I won't be in Miami for the Bitcoin conference. So I will be in Maui for the next 2 weeks and will not have my streaming computer with me. I will have my laptop. But because of that, I will be recording videos. So next Tuesday and Thursday, and then the Tuesday and Thursday after that, I will post pre-recorded videos around the same time, but just wanted to give you guys heads up. The live streams will be taking a short break. Still going to keep posting content. I'll post videos, just can't really stream on my laptop. It's not powerful enough. And then, yeah, once I'm back, we'll get back to the regular scheduled streams, but just wanted to give you guys a heads up about that. I'll definitely tweet about it too, but figured the 100 or so people in here are the ones who consistently watch, and so just wanted to give you guys a little heads up in advance. So with all that being said, let's jump into the Bitcoin analysis. So today is Thursday, May 27th. On Tuesday, we were looking for longs around this area or shorts up here. We did get a nice move above Monday's high and then breakdown. It came back to Monday's mid-range, but that's about it. It didn't go any deeper than that. Honestly, it's been a pretty slow week. I still don't have the clearest view of alts. And for that reason, we won't cover quite as many alts as usual in this stream. I hope that isn't too much of a disappointment, but when I don't have as clear of a read on something, I don't want to give as much of my opinion on it, just because I don't want to lead you guys astray if you're looking for my opinion to enter trades. So probably won't look at too many alts. Bitcoin's consolidating. We're going to talk about some of the same plans. It might be a little bit shorter of a stream, but I'm down to hang out for a bit if you guys want to chill. So we'll start with another higher time frame overview for those that missed last week's episode, but pretty much nothing has happened, right? Not much at all has happened since the last stream. We're still trading in this range. I'll zoom in a little bit. And like I've said previously, you don't want to take trades within this section of the range. If you start playing the mid-range, you're just going to start getting chopped up a lot, right? So above here, maybe you long, and then it comes back down, and then you want to short this retest, and then it goes up, and then you want to long here, and then it dumps down. And so I'm personally not interested in taking any trades around the mid-range, because I'll likely just be getting stopped out. Unless something really clear shows up, I won't really be taking trades around here. Like, let's say we have these triple lows right here and this low right there. If it comes down to here, I might look for a long. I know that's not quite at the range low, but at least it's in that quartile or fifth or whatever. Like if we split these ranges up in the middle like this, I definitely don't want to trade within this section. I would consider trades in these sections just because those are more of the extremes, and I can have more of a bias in that region. So if price comes down here, I lean towards longs. If price comes up here, I lean towards shorts, because as I've said previously, I think Bitcoin is still in a ranging environment, and I think we might be in that for a while. We might just keep chopping in here for another few weeks. So especially if you've lost money during this downtrend, I know you want to FOMO back in, start taking a bunch of trades and make it all back. But the more likely scenario is that you just give more money back. And if you were down 30% after this, lose another 10% from this, lose another 10% from this, like you're going to end up blowing your account. So stay cautious, stay patient. There's going to be much better opportunities than there are right now. Main scenarios I'm looking for, like I think a retest of this range low, I still think that would be a great long opportunity. And taking out these equal highs and this high, I think that'd be a great short opportunity. So on the upside, we're looking for a sweep down here. It could just be a SR retest. And I'll show you guys a little bit more why I'm looking at this area, some more levels of confluence. But that's pretty much it. And alts, they're not doing too much. You know, alts are down quite a bit across the board. Last week, okay, not last week, but on Tuesday when we were doing the stream, I want to say we were probably right here, right? And everyone was talking about wanting to buy alts, like in the chat and stuff. And I was saying the problem is if Bitcoin pulls back to the range low, then we're looking at like an 8-9% pullback. if Bitcoin's pulling back 8-9%, alts could be getting hit for 10, 20, 25%. And with the uncertainty there, I just didn't feel like it was worth it. Okay, and I'm still kind of in that exact same boat. Like you can see here, a lot of these alts that I'm watching, down 2%, 2%, 3, 6, 7, 5, 7, 5, 5, 9, 9, 8. They're all down quite a bit. Even coins that were really strong earlier, like Sushi, DeFi coin, it's down 9%. Aave, down 8.5%. So I really don't think right now is the time to play alts. I want more clarity. I want more clarity in the market. If Bitcoin comes down here, I would be happy to look for alt setups across the board when Bitcoin is trading at 35K, because I think that's at least close to the floor. And if we do get a bounce, if we get a 10% bounce, I'd expect alts to be even more volatile. Now, Rune appears to be one of the few exceptions. It's up 11% again today. But for the most part, across the board, alts are pretty much just higher beta crypto plays. A lot of them move like Bitcoin, but just a lot harder. And sometimes there's less of a correlation. Sometimes there's more of a correlation. Right now, it doesn't seem like alts are really going to pop off with Bitcoin ranging. The past couple days, Bitcoin has just been ranging. It's just consolidating, and alts are getting hit. Bitcoin's down 1% today, and all these alts are getting hit quite a bit across the board. And so for that reason, I'm really not interested in looking at alts yet. This isn't because I don't want to do a chart request or I don't want to look at a coin that you're holding. It's just alts in general I'm not as interested in. I think the price action on Bitcoin and Ethereum are enough for me to stay busy, and well, not even stay busy. It's enough for me to look out for. If I have clear plans for Bitcoin and Ethereum, there's no reason for me to over diversify and try and focus my time elsewhere when alts just aren't that clear to me. So now's a really good time to catch up on some journaling, test some strategies, spend time doing whatever you've been putting off during the bull market or during times of really high volatility. Like this is the tightest range we've been in for the longest period of time since here, I would say. We've been having a lot of volatility, but Bitcoin's just slowing down, and that's fine. I think it's a good thing. We'll just see where this breaks out of. If it breaks to the downside, we'll look to fade it. If it breaks to the upside, we'll look to fade it, all right? Because we just expect it to range, but it's just harder to know what alts are going to do when that's happening. On the other hand, if Bitcoin breaks out of this range and holds above it and keeps pushing up, now I'm interested in altcoin plays, right? And I'm pretty comfortable saying that if we break above this 49 or so region, I'll be bullish again. And then it's time to go into up only mode again. It's time to be longing a bunch of different alts, getting a lot more exposure across the board. But my expectation for now is we just range between like 35, 45. So we'll see what happens. We're taking it one step at a time. I just think rushing into trades is one of the worst things that you can do right now. Fading just means taking the other direction of a move, Manish. Like if it's dropping a lot, fading would mean taking a long because you're fading this move and think it's going to go the other way. If it's pumping a lot, fading a pump would mean shorting because you think it's going to reverse back down. Personally, I prefer the scenario where we go down first and then up. I'd really like to fill some longs down here, and now we will start talking about why. But I hope that all makes sense. Like I want to provide as much actionable analysis for you guys, but when I don't think that the price action is clear, it doesn't help any of us if I try and overanalyze alts and then those plans get messed up because Bitcoin just ranges. So that's kind of why I'm a bit hands off on alts right now. So let's get Monday's range back on here. Actually, I think I have it hidden. Is this the one? All right. We've got Monday's range. Our weekly open is right here. And these are all things that add confluence to this region and why I'm so interested in longing 34, 33, 35K, anywhere in there. I don't know if you use fibs. I don't use them a lot, but I think they can be a nice confluence. And look where this 0.62 to 0.07 or 0.75, 705 all line up. It's all in this same region, right? I think these are very high probability long opportunities on Bitcoin. Basically, this whole region, we have range low, we have weekly open, we have Monday's low, and then we have this SR level. So what I'm looking for, you can set limits, you can wait, but if we get a sweep of Monday's low and then back above this range low, I'd be pretty comfortable saying that low is in. Now we keep ranging, consolidating, but going back towards the range high. Okay? If you're leaving bids, I think your stop loss needs to be down here. If you wait to see the price action, I'd look for how far it dips, and then once it reclaims this range low, you enter with a stop loss here. At least that's how I'm going to play it. All right? So I think you can do either. I think you could leave some bids like this. Something like that. Just look for the range play up to the range high. Oh. And then if it plays out where it comes down here, takes out the low, and then gets back above, I think you can add a little bit tighter of a position, which means bigger position size, and compound this to try and take even more advantage of it. Because I would feel fairly confident in a move from this region back up here. So I'd want to get as much exposure as I can while still managing my risk properly. And if this plays out where we dip down, get a low, and then flip the range low, this stop loss right here will get moved up to here. So the stop losses would be the same, and I would still have 1R risk on the table. I'd be able to reduce my risk here, and then whatever I reduce this risk by, I add on back here. All right? So let's say I'm risking $1,000 on this trade, and then I'm able to move my stop loss up enough to the point where if I get stopped out, I lose $300. Then I can put $700 of risk on this trade, and that way, if I get stopped out, I lose that original $1,000 of risk. But now I'm in a bigger position size with a closer stop loss. So when I get a new invalidation for a trade, that's when I'm comfortable adding a new position. And if I don't get the opportunity to, if this dips down and V reversals up, like right back to 37, 38K, then it's all good because we built some exposure. But if it's kind to us and does something like this, as soon as we are confident the low is in and it breaks back above Monday's low, the weekly open, and this range low, I'm comfortable moving this stop loss up to here. That's my new invalidation. If we break below that, I don't want to be in the trade anymore. And at that point, I can add another position to equalize that risk again. All right? Why are the stops so wide? We already ran two lows. Which ones? Do you mean this? If I'm catching a wick, this stop loss needs to be pretty wide. This stop loss would be tighter if this scenario plays out. And this is it all depends on where the low is. Like if this low comes down to 32.8, then this stop loss is at 32.8, right? So it kind of just depends. I just draw this as an example. So that's a little explanation on compounding, when I do it, when I'm comfortable doing it, how I reduce risk, how we add risk back on. So you're risking the same amount as this original trade. You're risking your 1R, whether that's 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, or 500 bucks, whatever it is. You're keeping that same risk, but you're in a bigger position size. Okay? Does that make sense? I can't read the numbers. It's impossible to read. You don't really need to read the numbers because you can mark the chart up yourself, right? So you can see what this low is and what this high is just by looking at an hourly chart and matching up those levels. So draw your range with this low and this high. You can find the weekly open yourself. You can find Monday's low yourself. And then that can kind of, you can put the clues together to find out what the numbers are. You think we won't be going lower than 31K? I don't really know what's going to happen. We could go lower than 31K, but this is a valid long opportunity in my book, and so I'm going to take it. It's not a matter of not thinking it's possible to go further. It's just a matter of this would be a valid setup for me, and because of that, I would take it. What's up, Credible? Good to see you here, brother. Thanks for tuning in. We'll have to do we should do a joint live stream together sometime, bro. That'd be a lot of fun. How am I going to make it through the long weekend at my in-laws? Well, hopefully Bitcoin gives you some volatility. All right, so hopefully that scenario makes sense about buying the dip down here. We gave an explanation for leaving limits and also adding after we're more comfortable in thinking that the low is in. As far as shorts go, this Monday's high setup kind of already played out. We took the high, pulled back to Monday's mid-range. So another retest of it, like at that point, this level's been tested 4 times, and so I wouldn't really be interested in shorting it. The only way I'd be interested in shorting is a sweep of this range high and then a breakdown. I don't want to leave limits up here because there's less confluence there that I am confident in. Like here we have the weekly open, Monday's low, all that stuff. With the range high, there's not quite as much confluence. I really like this SR level though. You can see that this was basically the floor before our final leg down. So it is a clean level. I just personally would want to see that sweep, and then you look to enter your short invalidation at the high, and it's something like this, right? And then play it down to the range low. If the long opportunity happens first, I'm still going to look to take this short. If the short happens first, I'm going to look to take this long down here at 35K. So I really don't care which one happens first. I think we continue to range for a bit, and so we're just going to look to milk the range for as long as we can. And then when we break out of the range, we will play the levels closer to that when we get when the time comes. Right now, I'm not worried about talking about these levels or 49 or talking about 28, 29, because that's not what we need to focus on. You know, we're streaming twice a week. If price comes up here or comes down here, those are the trades we want to take right now. If something crazy happens and this goes straight up there, we'll do a emergency recording or something, but I'm not really expecting that. What's confluence? Confluence is basically just more, what's the best way of explaining it? More things in your favor about what price is going to do. Like more support levels, basically adding to the probability of bouncing there, I guess you could say. All right. So I think that's pretty much it for Bitcoin. there just isn't as much to say when we're trading in this range. When we're in here, there's not as much to do. Another thing you could do, if you split this range into fourths, this can kind of give you a clue. It's like, don't trade within the 0.25 and the 0.75. You want to take range trades within the extremes. Okay, so that's another way of looking at it from a more quantitative standpoint. Yeah, there we go, Brennan. That's a great definition. Multiple factors leading to a conclusion. Do you only trade stop hunts of range highs and lows? No, that's just one strategy, but it's the most applicable one right now because we're stuck in a range. What about not closing all your long short, leaving some room for a moon bag in case breaks the current levels? We'll figure that out when the time comes, but like if this comes down here, we get it long, and then this just rips through, I would probably leave some open and then look to see if this holds support. If it holds support, we can keep trailing a stop up, but if it comes down and breaks back below this, I would close the long. If I get a short here though, I would probably want to close all of it right around these range lows. I might even close it with a limit order instead of just waiting for the price action, because I think we at least get some sort of bounce from this level. Like even if we're going to go lower, I would expect us to hit this, maybe come up to the mid-range, and then sell off again. But I expect at least some sort of reaction from that level. Okay? Does that make sense, everybody? Let me know if that makes sense, boys and girls. Thoughts on ETH? We're about to talk about it. Mid-range is support. Support or resistance, and it's just like I wouldn't trade the mid-range though. Like the mid-range is just what price is trading around. Like it was support there, resistance here, and here it's just a mean level, I guess you could say. Like it's just where price is concentrating, where price is finding fair value, I guess you could say, for the time being, not in general. Like buyers and sellers are just fighting around this level. And when the buyers get stronger and overcome, we'll move away from it. Or if the sellers get stronger and overcome, we'll move down from it. The mid-range is just where price is concentrated right now. And yeah, for right now, I don't really like to trade the mid-range because you can see it just chops around it. Here you might have gotten a nice long. Here you might have gotten a nice short. We actually took some profit on longs here. But now price is just chopping around it. And more often than not, price does chop around it. Sometimes you'll get nice reactions like this. But because most of the time we chop around it, that's why I don't love trading the mid-range. All right, fam. Asia session to range high and then sell off. What do I think? I don't really care, to be completely honest. Like, I'm not going to try and make a prediction saying like, oh, I think Asian session's going to pump it and then we fade it. Or I think Asian session's going to dump it and then, and then we fade it. I'm just going to let price unfold, and I have plans either way, you know? All right, let's talk about Ethereum. We spoke about Bitcoin for long enough. 150 people in here. Appreciate you all being here. If we can hit 100 likes, that would be dope. Price to range high and then sell off. What do I think? That's pretty much what if price gets up there, I do think we pull back. That's kind of what we've been talking about the whole time. So we got some interesting levels here on Ethereum. This initial high that we made is acting like a nice floor for price. I still like this level. I think it's a 2 hour, maybe it's a 4 hour, 2 hour level, something. Actually, I didn't really draw that super clearly, whatever. But it's right on the range low, so more factors of confluence there. We have our monthly open that we're kind of just chopping around, but I'm just going to delete that because I don't think it's super necessary right now. Let me check where the weekly open is. Weekly open is deep. All right. Got our weekly open marked. It's around this level as well. And then session breaks. Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Let's get Monday's range on here. That's not what I expected to happen. There we go. And right here. So isn't this interesting? I didn't have Monday's range drawn out yet, but I had this high marked because I thought that was an important level. And you can see how well price is respecting this level. And then turns out it is Monday's range. So that's a good example of how sometimes different strategies can come to the same conclusion, right? I could just mark Monday's range right away, but also you could just tell that that was a good SR level. What's up, Gabe? Do I get up in the night using alerts if my setup is triggered, or do I check? I will usually not get up in the middle of the night. My wife probably wouldn't be too happy about that. The reality is there are always more opportunities in the market. There are infinite opportunities in the market, and if you miss out on one, it's not the end of the world. But like I said, with the Bitcoin example, you could leave some limit orders down here and then just add on confirmation. So that way, if you are asleep when it happens, you at least have some exposure. So Ethereum, actually, let's look at ETH BTC first. Let's see what we think. Wow. Don't you love when the good old analysis plays out well? Let me delete some of these drawings. So last stream, we talked about this level, and that if Bitcoin could get back above it, it would be bullish. But if it retests it and rejects, then we would be expecting Bitcoin to be stronger. So for those of you that are new, ETH BTC up here is simply a ratio between the price of Ethereum and the price of Bitcoin. When that ratio is going up, whether or not the USD value is going up or down, if the ETH BTC price is going up, then Ethereum is gaining strength compared to Bitcoin. If ETH BTC is going down, then Ethereum is showing weakness compared to Bitcoin. All right, so right now, ETH BTC is kind of at a pivotal level, I would say. It's trading right within this resistance here. And if it can flip it, I expect us to make a move up here. However, if we get rejected here, I expect us to come down to weekly SR. So this is really important because let's say this scenario plays out, right? If Ethereum is stronger, then I would be more interested in longing Ethereum if the bullish plans are playing out, and if the bearish plans are playing out and Ethereum is stronger, I would look to short Bitcoin because it's the weaker of the two. And vice versa. If Ethereum is dropping if ETH BTC, excuse me, if ETH BTC is dropping, then I expect, and the bullish scenarios are playing out, I would rather long Bitcoin because it has more strength compared to Ethereum. And if the bearish scenarios are playing out, and Ethereum ETH BTC is dropping, then I'm more interested in shorting Ethereum because it's the weaker of the two. I know I kind of went in a circle, but I hope that made sense. So that's why it's important to have a clear read on ETH BTC, because it can help us make more money trading Bitcoin or Ethereum, knowing which one we want to target at the time. So I'm just keeping an eye on this for right now. To me, I lean towards the bullish scenario playing out, just because although it's within this gray zone still, if we zoom in, you can see that it is establishing support here above this line. So this leads me to believe that Ethereum is the stronger of the two right now, and it will continue to be the stronger of the two unless I see it break below this level and start trading down. Okay, so now we want to keep that in the back of our minds, because if Ethereum goes up here and takes out this high at the same time that Bitcoin does this, which I don't think it will because Bitcoin has further to go, but if it did, I would prefer to short Bitcoin because of the strength in ETH BTC. And we can also see Ethereum's strength because it's trading above Monday's high, whereas Bitcoin is trading below Monday's high. So things like that can give us clues as to what's the stronger pair at the time. So if the market's bullish, I want to long Ethereum. If the market is bearish, then I'm not going to touch Ethereum and I'll short Bitcoin. So if we do get a market-wide pullback, if the pullback scenario happens and we go to here, I don't know if Ethereum is going to get all the way to 2150, but that's where I would be interested in longing it. Maybe it just comes into this high, takes out this low, and then starts going up. It's kind of hard to tell, but I just think it's important to keep in mind the importance of ETH BTC and keeping an eye on that ratio and having a bias or having an idea of what you think is going to happen. So Ethereum is still kind of in a no trade zone for me. There could be some lower time frame plays like this sweep and then break above Monday's high. You would have had a nice intraday play, but I'm not too interested in trading this at the moment. If the market proves to be bullish, if Ethereum can break out above this level, then I'll look to long up to like 3,300, maybe 3,200. But if this starts to break out, I definitely want to get some more long exposure to Bitcoin, or sorry, to Ethereum, because it is the stronger of the two. Overall, though, it's still just trading within this range, even though it's trading more in the top fourth of this range instead of the middle like Bitcoin is. So main plans, the bullish plans would be a break above the range high or a move down here to the range low. The reason I just have bullish scenarios right now marked out for Ethereum is because of the strength that it's showing. So if the market is pulling back, I'm not going to short Ethereum anyway because Bitcoin looks stronger. Unless Ethereum breaks below this 0.07 level, if it breaks below that, then I will prefer Ethereum shorts. I think if it does set up, and if there is a clean sweep of these highs, trades back below, you could still take a short on Ethereum because that would be a clean technical setup. And maybe ETH BTC starts to lose strength, even if it doesn't look as weak at the time. But until things change, I prefer to trade Ethereum strength and Bitcoin weakness. So honestly, that's pretty much all I got. That's all I got today. I'll read through the chat. We can do a little bit of Q&A. But as far as the technical analysis portion of this video, that's pretty much it. Like I said at the beginning, I'm just not interested in alts right now because it's like if Bitcoin's ranging, alts are going down. If Bitcoin's going down, alts are going down. If Bitcoin goes up, alts will probably go up, but then it's just like, that's just one of the three market conditions where alts could be bullish. So I'm waiting for clearer market conditions before getting deep in alts again, and I just don't even think they're worth much or as much of your time. Not for day trading. Like if you're buying spot right here, or if it's a long-term hold for you, I think that's completely fine. Like, do your thing. In these streams, we typically talk about intra-week trades. We don't really talk about scalping. We don't talk about like multi-month swings. It's more focused on intra-week. So trades you might hold for a couple of days, trades you might hold for one day, something like that. Because I think those are the easiest for you guys to kind of follow along with and make the most sense of. So yeah, let me read the chat and we'll see what we have going on. H1 looks similar to the BTC daily drop, like the consolidation and then breakdown. Volume is very low overall. I expect we drop soon. I don't think volume being low is bearish. I think we see low volume in consolidations, and I think low volume just means it's going to be easier to push the market in either direction. So if a bunch of buyers step in and there's low volume, it'll pump more. If a bunch of sellers step in and there's low volume, it'll drop. But low volume in itself, I wouldn't say that's bearish. Maxim says I have a short bias. You mean short term or like bearish? If I might ask, what is your view on Renko charts in general and specifically repainting problem with Renko? We've never really talked about Renko on the stream because Renko isn't really within my realm of expertise. I know one Renko trader, and that's Cold-Blooded Schiller on Twitter. He streams twice a week, so you might be able to pop in one of his streams and ask him about Renko, but I have no expertise there. How do you think expiring contracts are going to affect the market? I'm not sure. I think it'll bring volatility, but it doesn't give me a bias either way. How would I jump on a trade if it's a short or a long? What would be the confirmation in terms of candles, etc.? I feel like that's kind of what we've talked about in the entire video. If you just joined, I talk about short scenarios and long scenarios for Bitcoin and what I would want to see to get in either of those. Short term, of course. Are you talking about alts specifically, Maxim? If so, like you could look at an alt right now. I'll look at a random one like BNB. Right? You could say yeah, this is a good time to buy spot. And sure, maybe it will be. But it also might just do this, right? So, and also, like, in these streams, I'm not really, like, if I see something really clear, then we can talk about possible spot buying opportunities. But right now, I just don't feel like the conditions are what I want to be trading. You know, if it comes back down here, sure, buy yourself some spot if you're bullish on the coin. But it's just too much. There's too much uncertainty. And since ranging from BTC appears to be bearish for alts, I just want to be patient. Like, what if Bitcoin just consolidates for weeks and alts just get crushed the entire time? That's the scenario you need to be a little weary of if you're looking to trade alts. So I just don't see the value behind that right now. Why don't I think this wick is a shakeout? I do. I do think this was a shakeout, but I need price to prove to me if it's going back to up only mode. Because even if it's a shakeout, it could range for weeks. And this still could have been the shakeout, but that doesn't mean it's time to just long everything again. Do I expect a bull trap soon? I don't know. Do I think it's Wyckoff accumulation? I also don't know. I'd be guessing. I'd be guessing either way if I gave you an answer. The way I trade, I plan for scenarios and I execute based on them. Like if I have a scenario up here, if I have plans, I'm not saying I think it's going to pump. I'm not saying I think it's going to dump. It's very different from what I think happening and what I'm preparing for. I just plan for scenarios and I execute if they play out. I have no bias. I have no bias here on a lower term time frame. Do I think this was the low? I think if it's not, we're pretty close. If this wasn't the low, I'd expect like one more push, not necessarily that low, maybe to like 27 and then up. But once again, that's just a guess. I'm not saying I think it's going to drop down more, you know? There's a big difference between a plan and a prediction. And I'm in the business of planning, not predicting. Matic would have been about a 40% trade since the last stream. It was printing a bull flag, but I guess unfortunately there was no setup for your system. Nope. I wasn't interested in trading it, and I'm not disappointed that I missed it. I have no emotion about that. So we were probably streaming around here. I'm not going to bank on a coin pushing up to all-time highs while there's so much uncertainty in the market. That's just not within my system. I think that's a good way to lose money in most conditions. It worked out this time, but yeah. Is it it's a channel rather than a head and shoulders, right? I don't really trade either of those patterns. I just think we're in a ranging environment. No matter what you call it, I think price is consolidating. Neither the sellers nor the buyers are showing that they have the upper hand, and price is just chopping around. What would cause you to reevaluate your plans? The only thing that would kind of change my current plans of shorting the range high or longing the range low would be a breakout from this range. So if we break out completely from this, then we can start talking about up-only mode again. Or if we break down from here, then my eyes will be on the yearly open at 29K. So pretty much just a breakout from this range would cause me to reevaluate. But yeah, I think that pretty much answers it. Do I ever hedge my alts? Last stream you talked about BTC hedging, so just curious if you prefer selling spot alts or doing the one-to-one hedge. It kind of depends. Kind of depends on the investment horizon of the trade. Usually I will sell alts instead of hedging them, but sometimes I will hedge them. It's just that there are some trading accounts that I have denominated in Bitcoin, and because of that, I want to hedge my Bitcoin sometimes. I don't have any accounts where I'm just like, okay, I'm going to stack as much CRV as I can and just trade with my account denominated in CRV. I pretty much care about stacking Bitcoin and dollars because, I mean, they still have value. I think expiring contracts will just bring volatility. I don't think you can say it'll go in either direction. If anyone's worried Matic has pumped too much, just farm it on Aave with stables. Sure. What's up, Burke? XRP, please. I'm not interested in trading alts right now. This is just not price action I'm interested in. I've said it a couple times on the stream. I'll say it once more. This also does look like a bearish retest. I would be bullish on XRP above 120. But I'm not. I don't think there's any point in me trying to trade this right now. If the market proves to be bullish and this gets it back above here, we'll talk about it on Tuesday. But right now, I have no alt plans. I don't really think there's a point. Max pain for option expiry is 50K, so up, I thought. Doesn't always have to go to where max pain is. Max pain is just a calculation, Nick, where the majority of option trades would be out of the money. Max pain has kind of become a meme on Twitter because people think they can predict max pain when max pain is literally just a calculation based on out of the money call and put options. I do hold spot long term. My percentage split for holding BTC and ETH varies. What makes you bullish on ETH? Just the chart. I do kind of think EIP 1559 or whatever it is could be a sell the news event where it happens and then we end up selling off while everyone just thinks it's the most bullish thing ever. So I do hold spot for the long term, but I do sometimes manage that spot with leverage trades like hedging. No problem, man. We could also have a bearish retest to 48.50 and sell off again. Yeah, absolutely. This is my important daily level right here, the black line. And honestly, I think this is the most likely scenario. I think you get fully bullish if we break above that level. But because we have broken market structure, right? High, low, higher low, higher high, broke the low, now lower high, broke the low again. Now we have bearish market structure here. So I need to have that bearish market structure in the back of my mind and approach things accordingly. So this, if we pump up to 50K, that would be a bearish retest until proven otherwise. Until we break this high, then the market structure is bearish. Or if we range and then we break out of the range, I would call that a shift in market structure. But for right now, for all intents and purposes, if we pump from here, I would expect a rejection. Doesn't mean it needs to make a new low. It could make a high here, pull back to here, and then as soon as we break this high, then we have our break in market structure. You look for a higher low and then push it up. But for now, I need the market to prove to me that it's bullish, and our first touch of 49, 48, 50K, I will be selling spot or hedging my portfolio. And if it does something like this and breaks above, I'll get back in spot, because at that point I would expect it to be pretty much completely bullish again. So we didn't really look at the daily picture of Bitcoin, but as you can see, it's pretty much just consolidation. Like here, we took out the past couple days highs. In today's daily candle, we took out yesterday's low, but it's more or less just ranging. So if you think this price action is boring, then that's okay. And it's a good time to focus on different things or focus on testing a strategy or whatever. We've pretty much been going 24/7 in this bull market all year. And now price is finally kind of boring. So it's a good time to go do something. Live your life. Build a hut in the woods. But as I've been saying in the past 2 streams, I'm interested in doing business here and here. That's pretty much what I got. That might seem boring, but sometimes trading is boring. No problem, Neil. I'm glad it's helpful. All right, guys. I know this was kind of a little bit shorter of a stream than usual, but that's the way the market conditions are. If we start to get a bunch of volatility, if this breaks above the range high and proves to at least be bullish in the near term up to here, then we'll really dig into some alt setups. Or if this comes down here, then we'll look for some alt longs. We'll look to buy cheap on some alts. But for as long as it's just trading right here in the middle, I'm not interested in alts. So streams will be longer with more information, more chart requests, more analysis when we get more volatility. Main said he gets only fully bullish if we make a new all-time high. That's fine. I'm fine with that. I mean, breaking above 59 is just about making an all-time high. I mean, there are 2 ways where I get fully bullish. Either we range for a month, 2 months, and then break out of the range. We don't even need to flip 50K for me to get fully bullish after that. If we range for a long time and then break out of the range, I will be full bull, and I will be loud and annoying about it because I'll want you guys to make as much as you can. Or if we at least start creating bullish market structure, then I think you can get fully bullish again. Or if this pretty much just V reversals and breaks this high, then you look for the higher low and then up. It could also break this. I mean, I don't expect this to completely reverse to all-time highs within like a month, but if it does that and then something like this, fully bullish again as well. So a lot of different scenarios. It doesn't really make sense to lay out every single one because I'd rather just talk about that when it gets closer. So what's up, Reno? Can you say Kamehameha? Is that one fish in Hawaii? No, it's something else. Kamehameha. Are you leaning more bearish or more bullish? Neither. I don't care. I have no bias. I have no opinion. I feel like a robot right now, and I think that's exactly where I need to be. I am robotic until we get here or until we get here. And I'll be bullish looking for longs here, bearish looking for shorts there. But I I have no emotion right now as this ranges. I know that doesn't help at all. And that's probably not the answer you wanted to hear, but it's the truth. All right, guys. Stay safe out there. Don't forget, capital preservation is the most important thing in this game. So when the charts are unclear, when you don't know exactly what's coming next, then it's time to take a step back, develop some higher time frame plans, and as soon as those start playing out, then start executing again. All right? Robocause activated, that's right. All right, everyone. Hope you have a great rest of your week and a good weekend. I'll be posting a video on Tuesday. Just go out there and enjoy life for as long as we're ranging. For as long as the price action is boring, go enjoy life. Because if this breaks out and proves to be bullish, it's going to be a grind once again, looking for every single thing you can long. So take advantage of when things are slow. All right. And that's all I got. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.